little mindful yogis. I am going to teach you a sequence for tweens or teens, just a little bit of breath work, breaking down some poses. And if you have not already looked at the sun salutation videos that I have, I would suggest doing that before we work on this sequence today. We are going to start in a child's pose. So you're going to come to your mat, bring your big toes to touch, spread your knees out wide, and reach your arms long in front of you. Rest your forehead on the mat here. Take a moment to settle in. Bring some awareness to your body, to your mat. Notice your shoulders. See if you can relax them a little more towards the mat. Notice your hips and see if you can sink them a little closer to your heels. Bring your awareness to your breath. Together we will deepen that breath. Take a full breath in through your nose, fill all the way up. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, another breath just like that. Breathe in fully. Feel the belly rise. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. You can choose to close your mouth now. Breathe in and out only through your nose. Each time work to fill up the belly and empty the belly. On your next breath in, start to come into a tabletop. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring your knees under your hips. Breathe in. And on an exhale, come into cat pose. Press down through your palms. Pull your belly into your spine. Bring your chin to your chest. Inhale for cow. Drop the belly. Bring your chest through. Look up. Exhale for cat. Pull the belly in. Chin to chest. Breathe in for cow. Belly sinks. Heart comes through. Exhale for cat. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cat. Exhale for cat. And then make your way into a neutral tabletop. On your next inhale, curl your toes under. And on your exhale, send your hips high for a downward facing dog. This is your first downward facing dog. So spread your fingers nice and wide here, grip through the fingertips. And then begin to walk your dog out by bending into one knee, lift one heel, then bend into the other knee. Do that a few more times. And then find a still downward facing dog. Really press down through your palms and bend your knees, and then see if you can send your chest closer to your thighs. Then bring your heels back down towards the mat. Breathe in, gaze forward at your hands, and on an exhale, lightly step your feet behind your hands for a ragdoll pose. You can bend into the knees a lot here and let your chest hang heavy. Bring your chest closer to your thighs. You can keep your hands on the earth for balance, for grounding, or maybe reach for opposite elbows. Sway from side to side. Let your chest hang heavy. Maybe shake your head yes and no. And then bring your hands back down towards the mat. With soft knees, keep your knees soft. We're going to sweep your arms all the way up for Tadasana. Really press the ground away from you with your feet and pull your low belly into your body. Notice your shoulders, relax them down your back. Gaze up at your hands, turn your pinkies towards one another. One full breath in and out. Breathe in one more time. And then exhale your hands to heart center. Maybe close your eyes here. If you want to set an intention for your practice, something that you want to work on, something you want to focus on, every time your hands come to your heart, you can come back to that intention. Maybe you're doing this practice to feel more calm. Whatever your intention is, take a deep breath in through the nose. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. Start to flutter your eyes open. Bring your hands back down by the side. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, forward fold. Let your hands come down towards the mat. Breathe in, halfway lift. Press your legs away from you. Keep your spine nice and long. Draw your shoulders down your back. Gaze is at the floor. One breath in and out. Breathe in, and on an exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, find your high plank. We're really pressing the ground away from you here and pull the belly into your spine. Lots of engagement. Make sure your hips are in line with your shoulders. Breathe in, shift forward onto your tiptoes. Exhale, chaturanga. You can drop down to your knees here, lower halfway down. Pull your elbows into your body, into the ribs. Flip to the tops of your feet. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shine your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and out. Breathe in, gaze forward. Exhale, lightly travel to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana, sweep your arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time. One full breath in and out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana, rise all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One full breath in and out. Breathe in, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for chair pose. Bend your knees deeply. Reach your arms up high overhead. Breathe here. Work to shift the weight back into your heels, so much so that you can lift your toes off the mat and then press them back down into the mat. Pull your low belly back in so that your tailbone is rooted down. And then slide the shoulders down your back. One full breath in and out. Breathe in. See if you can sink an inch lower. Nice. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step your right foot back for a lunge. So you can come up onto your fingertips here. You should be on the ball of your right foot. Square your hips, pull your thighs together. Make your spine nice and long. Breathe in for Anjaneyasana. Drop down to your right knee. Reach your arms up high overhead and breathe here. We want to feel a nice stretch in this right hip flexor. If you aren't feeling it, send your hips a little closer to the front of your mat. Notice your low belly, draw it back into your body, and relax your shoulders. 2 full breaths here. Breathe in, gaze up at your hands, maybe even do a little back bend. And then exhale your hands down. We're going to come into half splits. Pull your left hip in line with your right. You can stay on your fingertips or grab a hold of blocks or books if you don't have any blocks to bring the earth a little bit closer to you. Flex through your toe, leg is nice and straight. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, fold your heart forward. You can relax the neck, bring the chin to your chest. Soften through the shoulders. Maybe turn the corners upward on your mouth, making a little smile so that your jaw is nice and relaxed. 2 full breaths here. your next inhale, come back into Anjaneyasana, rebend into the left knee, reach your arms up high overhead, squeeze your thighs towards one another. Breathe in, and on an exhale, bring your hands back down, lunge your right foot long. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, crawl your hands between your legs for a wide leg forward fold. Turn your toes in slightly, let your chest hang heavy. We want to shift the weight into the balls of your foot, and then your head will come a little bit closer towards the mat. Relax your shoulder, gaze between your legs. 2 more full breaths here. On your next inhale, walk your hands back underneath the shoulders, lift your chest. Exhale, crawl your hands back to the front of your mat for a low lunge. We're gonna keep your legs just as they are and come into a high crescent lunge. So you can walk your hands up your knees, find your stability here. We want a soft bend in the back knee, but make it super strong, working to bring the heel over the ball of the foot. Put your hands on your hips and square them to the front of the room, pulling your inner thighs towards one another. Notice your ribs, draw them back into the body. Maybe extend your hands up high overhead. Couple more breaths here. Breathe in, see if you can sink a little bit lower. Exhale, warrior 2. Spin your right heel down, reach your left arm forward, right arm back. Notice your legs, you want to have heel to arch alignment here. Bring your shoulders directly over your hips. Look down at your left knee and send it more to the pinky side edge. Send energy out of your fingertips. Draw your shoulder blades a little closer together. 1 more full breath here. On your next inhale, start to shift forward. Exhale, extended side angle. You can bring your forearm to your knee here, still keeping that left knee towards the pinky side edge. Reach your right arm up high overhead. Work to open your heart towards the ceiling. Notice your ribs, see if they're really far out because you're arching. Draw your ribs back into your body and instead turn your heart towards the ceiling. 1 more breath here. Beautiful. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your left arm towards the back of the room. Little to no weight in this hand here. So we want to square the ribs again. Make sure they're not splaying out and you're not arching. You're reaching up and towards the back of the room. Notice your left knee. See if you can deepen the bend. Sometimes we lose the bend in our knee when we reverse our warrior. 1 more breath here. Breathe in, see if you can reach your hand a little bit higher. And on an exhale, bring your hands back down towards the mat. Step your foot forward for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and lunge your left foot back. Find your strong lunge. Pulling the thighs together, bringing the heel over the ball of the foot. Spine is nice and long. Inhale for Anjaneyasana. Drop the left knee down. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Pull the low belly in. Make sure you're feeling that stretch in the left hip flexor. Breathe in, gaze up at your hands, maybe do a little back bend. Exhale your hands down for half splits. Pull your right hip in line with the left hip. Straighten through your right leg. As you inhale, grow tall through the body. Remember, you can grab hold of those blocks here. And as you exhale, fold your heart forward. Bring your chin to your chest. Soften through the shoulders and the neck. 2 more full breaths here. On your next inhale, rebend into your right knee. Reach your arms up high overhead. Exhale your hands down for that low lunge. Pull your inner thighs towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale for the wide leg forward fold. Crawl your hands between your legs. Turn your toes in slightly. Bring your head between your legs. This time, plant your right hand directly in front of your face, and on an inhale, send your left arm up towards the ceiling. Notice your hips. See if you can draw them back in line with one another. Really press down through your palm to open your chest towards the ceiling. It may be that you need another book or a block here in order to do that. Breathe in and exhale your hand back down. Plant your left hand in front of your face. And on an inhale, send your right arm up towards the ceiling. Open your chest, open. Gaze up at the right hand. One more breath in and out. Bring your right hand down. Start to crawl your hands towards the front of your mat for that low lunge. Squeeze the inner thighs together as you rise up for your crescent lunge. Deep bend in the right knee. Make your back leg really strong. Work to bring your heel over the ball of your foot. Maybe place your hands on your hips. See if they are square. Then extend your arms high overhead. Notice the belly drop back into the body. One more full breath here. On your next inhale, see if you can sink a little bit lower. Exhale, warrior two. Left heel comes down. Deep bend in the right knee, right arm forward, left arm back. Evenly distribute the weight in your feet here. Send that right knee to the pinky side edge. Stack your shoulders directly over your hips. One more full breath here. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Forearm come down. Left arm reaches high overhead. We want to keep the ribs inside the body, not a big arch here. Try to keep your shoulders stacked on top of one another as you open your chest towards the ceiling. One breath in and out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up and towards the back of the room. Little to no weight in this back hand here. Notice your right knee. Deepen the bend in that right knee. Notice your ribs. Bring your shoulders on top of one another and draw your ribs into the body. Breathe in, see if you can reach a little higher. Exhale your hands down for the lunge. Step your left foot forward. Breathe in for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Start to shift the weight over into your left foot. And as you inhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Reach your arms up high overhead. One breath in and out. Notice your hips, make sure they are square. See if you can send your knee away from you. We're gonna come into tree pose. Bring your hands to heart center. You can place your foot on your ankle or your calf or deep inside of your thigh. Really press through your left big toe. Find something to stare at your drishti. Keep your knees set away from you. Press your foot into your thigh and your thigh into your foot. We'll be here for 4 breaths. You can keep your hands together or maybe explore opening the arms. 2 more full breaths. 1 more breath. Beautiful. You can bring your hands back to heart center if they were high overhead. Plant your right foot down. Close your eyes. Take a moment to come back to your intention. And then start to ground down through your right foot, really pressing through your right big toe. As you inhale, send your left knee high. Draw as high as you can in your body. 1 breath in and out. Keep your knee where it is and send it away from you. Come into that tree pose. Bring your left foot into your calf or into your inner thigh, keeping that knee very far away from you. We'll be here for 4 breaths. You can keep your palms together or explore opening through the arms. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath here. Bring your knee back to center. Plant your foot down. Bring your hands back to heart center. Take a moment to close your eyes, coming back to the intention. And then begin to flutter your eyes open. Inhale, Tadasana. exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back for a downward facing dog. We're gonna come into half pigeon. So bring your right leg high and then draw your right wrist behind your right knee behind your right wrist. Working to parallel your shin to the top of your mat, extend your left leg long. Try to keep your hips nice and square. As you breathe in, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, begin to walk your arms forward, resting your forehead on something solid. It can be your hands, the mat, maybe even a block or a book. We'll be here for just a few breaths. If you're feeling pressure on your knee, the other option for this pose is to lie down on your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Maybe reach for your inner thigh and draw your knee closer to you. Wherever you are, 2 more full breaths. 1 more full breath. If you're in half pigeon, start to walk yourself up, straighten through the right knee. If you're on your back, begin to plant the right foot over, left ankle over. For half pigeon, we'll send our left foot high. Draw your left knee behind your left wrist. Work to parallel your shin to the front of the mat. Extend your right leg long. Breathe in as you grow tall. Exhale, sleeping pigeon. Walk your hands long in front of you. Working to keep the hips nice and square. Couple more breaths here. If you're in half pigeon, begin to crawl your hands back underneath you. Draw your left foot back into downward facing dog. We're going to drop down to the knees here. Come down to the back. Maybe draw your knees into your chest. Keep the low back on the mat. Gently rock from side to side. And then begin to send your hips to the left and drop your knees over to the right. Try to keep your knees stacked directly on top of one another. Maybe tee out your arms. Maybe reach this left arm high overhead if your shoulder is not near the mat. This is more of an upper body stretch. Couple more breaths here. Maybe soften your eyes closed here as we're coming to end the practice. Slowing down the breath. On your next inhale, draw your knees back into your chest. Send your hips over a little to the right and let your knees fall over to the left. Again, you can tee out your arms. Maybe reach your right arm high overhead. Working to keep these knees stacked on top of one another. If your mind is starting to wander, bring it back to the breath. Notice your inhales and your exhales. Maybe breathing in to the count of 4. And breathing out to the count of 4. And then you can draw your knees back into your chest. Another little rock. And then let your legs extend out long. Let your arms fall down by your sides. Take up a lot of space here, even coming off the mat with your feet and your hands. Relax your shoulders even more towards the mat. Notice your tongue and draw it away from the roof of your mouth. And allow yourself the space to rest.